What's up, guys? This is day 50. I'll just talk about maybe my thoughts on the King of the Table matches and the training in my video, and just sort of how, like, my thoughts on my plans, like, going forward, and how to train, what to train, stuff like that. So yeah, this is from a while ago, probably more than a week ago. I haven't been training. Some of that is because I got sick, but also I've just not been training. But yeah, this is, I think, after pulling. And this is after the tournament. I went to the PAL tournament, and so I'm still a bit sore, so doing a lot of rehab. Some shoulder external rotation stuff. And yeah, I'm always like not sure just how much to do, because it gets pumped and it gets sore, but because I'm working with such a light weight, I'm not sure if there's, like, I'm not sure if I'm not doing enough or if I can actually, do too much. But yeah, I did a few sets of these, and then I did some more warm-ups with dumbbells for my shoulders, and that's pretty much my training for just the posterior delt, and yeah, just like pretty much how I condition my shoulder. So maybe it's not enough, or maybe I need to use more weight, but I'm not sure. Yeah, so King of the Table, well, Todd versus Chance. I watched it. I bought the pay-per-view, so it seemed like Todd actually tried to top roll him in straps the first round. So like it didn't work out. His wrist got bent back, but he switched. It looked like he switched pressures, and as soon as he did that, he was pretty much in control. And then later rounds, he hooked him outside of straps and was able to contain him. Looked like Chance was pretty close to busting through his fingers on some of those rounds. I'm not sure if he had stuck that pressure, it would have stayed, or it just looked like it but wasn't there. I'm not sure, but so yeah, I mean, I don't know. I think Todd looks strong as fuck right now. Todd, I think, is probably around top 10 in the world overall, and Chance also looks strong. So yeah, honestly, like, I didn't really have any thoughts about that. And King of the Table, man, I really had a feel for a lot of these matches. Like, I had a good feel for them, but I got like swayed by what everyone else was saying. I knew Khaled was gonna be trouble for him. I knew that Larry wouldn't just like walk all over him. I still predicted Larry to win, which I shouldn't have, but yeah, I mean, after the first round, I was like, okay, Larry's in a tough spot, and it was pretty much over because he put him in a hook, and it was a good match. And then after that, he was trying to slip, and I don't know what happened to him, because before he was saying, oh, well, like, you can't slip from Khaled, I'm not even gonna try. And then later he's like, oh, I'm gonna go in for a shoulder press. Of course that's not gonna work. A lot of other people are saying that as well. But I mean, if a guy like that is gripping your thumb, like squeezing your thumb as hard as he can in the setup, I really don't think you can just slip from that by committing your shoulder. I think that's just not, like, and I do think, like, Larry needs to pull more hookers, and I don't know. I think he's strong, but I think he lacks endurance. But yeah, I mean, it's unfortunate. Obviously, like, I wanted Larry to win. But that was that, and people always are criticizing his technique and criticizing, saying he's not progressing and whatever, but I actually think he's done pretty well technically, even in the Brandon Allen match and in this match. Um, I think they're both stronger than him. Like, I mean, if you were a master arm wrestler, would you have done things differently? Of course, but I really don't think that the technique would have changed much, even in the Brandon Allen match. I think people always pretend like arm wrestling is more technique and not strength, but I feel it's 100% more strength. For example, if you're saying he knows how to hook, he knows how to top roll, what you're really saying is he has the strengths to be able to top roll, and he has the strengths to be able to hook. Like, obviously, at a certain level, if you're a complete beginner, or you might be able to have like a more finesse and like a little bit better in executing those techniques. But I feel at the end of the day, it's more the discussion that matter is whether or not you have the strength in a top roll and the strength in a hook. Like, it doesn't actually mean that you don't understand how to top roll or hook, right? Well, that's my understanding. Of course, people will say like, oh, but some people actually don't understand it. But it's like, maybe because you don't have the strength and you don't do it, you don't understand it. That makes sense. But I think 100% arm wrestling is mostly about strength, and being able to execute techniques as well is all about the strength. And I think Larry has pretty good understanding of the technique, and people are just giving him shit because they assume, like, I feel people almost like people find that he's the one guy where they feel like, he's a new guy, and it's like, oh, you don't actually know the technique, I know more than you. But anyways, it's unfortunate for Larry. What was the second match? I think it was Gabi versus Sarah. I had some money staked on Sarah for the shutout stakes, and I was like obviously really rooting for her, and Gabi looked way strong, but I felt Sarah had a lane towards the end, with the hand and folding her wrist back a little bit. But the stops she was getting was way too close to pin pad, and she wasn't able to really move her sideways at all, even after, I think, even in round 4, where Sergio ended the match in the most like frustrating way. Like, I really think Sergio needs to be fired and replaced. I don't understand why he's reffing. Like, I don't, like, does he have credentials, or like, I just really don't understand why he's reffing. But yeah, I was like mad, but then I realized they refunded all the money because the rules changed and stuff like that. Yeah, so I was fine actually, but yeah, I really should stop betting on stakings as well. It's horrible odds and just probably a waste of money. Even though I've been pretty lucky the past few bets, and it's kind of hard, like. But anyways, so yeah, I mean, I don't really have much thoughts about that. The Wagner versus Hermes match, I didn't even watch it. Like, I knew Hermes was gonna win easily, and it seemed like that's what happened. I was like doing something else, I wasn't watching it. Alex versus Dave, I really saw that lane. Like, I really thought that Dave wouldn't just go away as easily as people were going to say, and I should have stuck with it. I was so mad at myself because I made a prediction. Like, I like right before the event started, I did the what is it called, the forum, arm wrestling forums prediction, and I predicted them all wrong, but I was basically just going with the majority opinion. But oh man, anyways, I was just mad at myself because I felt like I saw a lane there with Dave, and I did have a lot of faith in Dave, but I don't know, I switched my mind last minute. But I remember watching Alex and Larry's videos, and Alex is pulling, like, I mean, I haven't seen him, so I'm guessing he's like a bodybuilder, right? So a complete random person, and he's like, go easy on me or whatever, like, I'm not so strong inside, go easy on me. And I'm like, are you serious? Like, this guy's meant to be like top number 3 in the whole world, and just pulling a random guy, and he's like, I'm not that strong inside. And of course, like, maybe some of that is him just like being nice or whatever, sandbagging, but at the same time, it made me realize that Alex really does, like, even the way he was pulling over in Canada, a lot of people were like, why isn't he letting anyone like get in the match? And I realized that that's actually just not the way he pulls. Like, he's like a Travis Bajan style puller. Like, he's not a guy that holds people or gets in long matches. Like, he takes what he needs and then he goes for the pin. But obviously I did see that like Dave might have enough strength. A lot of people, I think, thought that Dave's hand would get folded back completely. In that case, I don't think he would have been able to do anything. But obviously, Dave just twisted and took Alex's hand pretty easily. And once there and there, it was clear that Dave was a lot stronger. So yeah, I think a lot of people underestimated Dave's ability to do that, and people thought Alex would have full hand control. But even then, I mean, I'm kind of shocked that like no one else saw that coming, because almost everyone was predicting Alex to like destroy Dave. But yeah, like I think overall though, like I don't know, like it was probably my least favorite King of the Table. I think the commentary was some of the worst commentary I've ever heard. Like Ray, like I've heard him be better. Like why do you? It's okay for him. Like I felt he was being a little annoying and like saying that Larry, like even in round 2, he was like, oh, you know, it's over for Larry, which we all knew. But he was also saying, oh, I hope there's another King of the Table, and I feel like there's no reason to say shit like that as a commentator. But also beyond that, like why do you have no energy? Like he was just like sounded bored the entire time, and a match would start and he's like, oh, okay, this is happening, and it's so fucking boring. And it actually just made the whole thing like so boring and like depressing, and I really didn't like how he commentated it. Even though like I mean I have nothing against Ray, like I mean I watch his videos and I think he's a cool guy, but like I just don't understand what the fuck he was doing commentating. I felt that it was really bad. And yeah, like I mean they need to bring back Neil Pickup or something. Just not that interesting. Obviously I'll tune in for Levon versus Devon. That'll be a lot better. But I just feel like why, like, just bring more cameras. Like why do you have to have one camera angle and have like the two athletes like I remember they had seats or something for the athletes that are like 5 feet next to each other, and then at this time they were like going off to the sides. But like why can't you make the area bigger so you have like seats for the athletes and their corners, but like capture that like in the stage? Like I feel like the way the stage is set up is kind of, I don't know, I feel it could be better, but whatever. At least the sound and video and stuff was good, I think. But yeah, I was also watching Alex and Hermes live stream on Hermes's YouTube channel. It was pretty funny. It was actually interesting stuff. Like you get to see Alex's personality more, and he talks about how like Richard Lupke is one of his favorite arm wrestlers, and how they all like got sad that Devon beat him, and they like didn't believe that Devon beat him the same year or the year after Richard beat Saplenko. He didn't beat him. Same thing as like how people think Devon beat Taras Savakin even though he lost. So like just because he did well, like you almost think that Richard beat Saplenko. But anyways, and then they were all sad, and that was pretty funny. So yeah, like those are my thoughts about like what happened. And I guess I'll talk about the tournament. I went to a PAL tournament in Ontario in Barrie, and there were a lot of people there. Also got me COVID, but it was actually like super fun, and like I competed left hand amateurs only. My right elbow was just sore, and I've always like pulled with it anyway because the pain isn't that bad, but I really want to be able to rest it and not use it for a long time so that the pain and the injury, because I'm sure there's something wrong with my elbow, something wrong with my ligaments, until it completely goes away. It's still sore, so I don't know how long I'll really have to rest it, because I do want to pull, like, I mean, I want to pull in practice. Like, I'll stick to pulling outside, but even then, sometimes it's hard. It's hard to do that. And I want to pull in provincials, but that's like in a month or something, so I'm not sure if I'll really be fully healed. Maybe I'll just pull with it anyway. But left hand actually did better than I thought, because there were a lot of people. There were like 6 or 7 people in my class, which is like one of the biggest classes, because a lot of other ones had like 2 people and 3 people in it. And when I looked at them, they were all huge, and they were like so much bigger than me, and I thought I was fucked. But the first 2 people, they were all like big guys, and I actually felt nothing. Like, I didn't feel anything. It just felt like nothing. I just pinned them. And I think a lot of that is setup, but there's like, for sure I had strength as well, right? It's not just all setup and all technique. And I think it sort of reinforced the idea for me that I don't have to do like stupid bench press or squat or heavy shoulder press. I feel like all that matters is your ability to maintain your hand, and then once you have the hand, your elbow to handle the pressure. And similarly, like shoulder, elbow, but usually for me it's the elbow. And as long as that chain is strong, it doesn't matter how strong your pecs are or your whatever it is, because that's never going to be the limiting factor. So I'm like, it reinforced, it like validated that thought big time, just being skinny and being able to beat guys much bigger than me. But yeah, so I won 2 matches, and then I won, and then I had like a finals later against this guy, and I got fouled out, and I was like, oh fuck. Well, I mean, I really thought I was gonna win, right? Because I was feeling so good, and then I was like, okay, I fouled out, fuck, and then I thought I was done with or whatever, or I thought like the best I could do was 3rd place, because I didn't understand how the tournament system worked. But anyways, I pulled this guy again after I lose in the finals. And then I'm like kind of angry and stuff, so I just decided to try and hold the guy. And I sort of let him in the match, and I had to like really push myself, like go under the table and stuff to pin him. But I get the win, and it turns out I'm facing that guy again who I just lost to in the finals. And he sort of cupped me in and pinned me easily. And usually I feel pretty good in a hook as well, left-handed, but I do think he was like way too strong for me that day, because I didn't get to pull with him afterwards, but I saw him pulling with some of the guys I know, like Alex the Phenom. Like, he was pinning Alex in the after pull, and that doesn't mean that he was stronger than him, but to even like be able to do stuff, I know how much strength that takes. So I think he was clearly a lot better than me. So in terms of the result, like, I'm really happy. And yeah, like for going forward, like I'm just gonna, on my right, I'm just gonna focus on getting my elbow healthy and just working my pronation more, because I think that's clearly where I'm lacking. And then once I get those 2 things together, like all the strength I think will just come with. I don't have to worry about, being strong in the gym, like as long as my elbow is healthy, I think the strength will be there. So yeah, that's it for the video. Thanks for watching.